We're going to talk about paddling, which is back in Missouri. I'll lead with it. I'll be more than happy to, and I'll go down to the cent on it.
I'll do a goop type of site called Poop. And it's just all rich people shit.
I think it would be awesome if it was a PH. So like PH goop, you know?
Foop.
Yeah, Foop. And that way it's so rich that you're like, I'm not pronouncing the H. It's just there. G is silent now, too.
I do like that, too. I do like that. Very good. Very good.
And then you go over ridiculous shit that, like for you, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be fun if I could buy you the knife from the OJ murder. I think that would be great.
To cook with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just to slice your Wagyu. The most expensive meat with the knife that killed 2 people that night.
Yeah.
In Brentwood.
Sure.
I think that would be amazing.
Yep.
Bourdain, right? Whatever he hung himself with, like that's where your new painting is hung now, where you're just like, oh, all right, great. What's that? What is that attached to? Oh, that's that thing that Bourdain hung himself with in Alsace, France. Right. I bought it. I know it's super dark, but I just kind of wanted it.
Wasn't it a bed sheet?
I don't know, actually.
It was something from the room. I thought it was a robe.
I thought it was the robe tie, yeah.
Robe tie.
Okay.
But bed sheet, whatever it was.
I like even when you have a bunch of money, you're just buying me stuff that you want.
No, I don't want any of these things.
Neither do I.
If you want to live in the murder world, you've got to step up your game. I'm tired of every white woman who's into crimes and murders, but then they don't actually like the crime and murder part. Let's start living it out. Let's go, Zach, what is it, Bogans? He's the one that's buying all that creepy shit. He's got the thing. Start living it out, ladies. That's all I'm asking. Like, if you want to watch it, really, really watch it. Like, really get into it.
Yeah, I think the true crime world is definitely needing some consulting from you.
Well, don't you think it's fake? Like, don't you don't kind of feel kind of fraudish about it?
No.
With, like, true crime shit, where it's just like, really?
Yeah, really. And I think, like, the charts and probably downloads would back me up on that.
Not that. It's not the shows themselves. I'm talking about the listeners, where everybody wants the true crime shit, but they don't really want to have the real shit or actually see. Like, what was the one that you were brought up? Was it Heaven's Gate? And you didn't want to hear the kids die?
No, it was Jones.
That's it.
Jonestown.
Yeah. And you don't want to hear the kids die and all that stuff?
Nope.
Like the bear, the guy who got killed by the bear. I could listen to that 1,000 times, and that's true crime. But real white women actually don't like that part of it? Yeah. Why is that?
We just we're intrigued by the investigative part of it, how they find them, how they think they can get away with it. The craziest thing to me is a person that's not like a serial killer or a sociopath or whatever, killing like their wife or someone, and the path and the things that they do to try and get away with it. And then conversely, how the detectives find like the one piece of hair in the carpet of the van of what, you know what I mean? So that's interesting to me. I am not a, gore-seeking sociopath, whatever, little creepy in that way. So I don't actually want to hear the kids being killed. I don't actually want to see the pictures. There are people that do. Obviously, there's a market for it. It's just not what I'm into.
There is. I know true crime is the biggest category you can get. And look, certainly documentaries, podcasts, if you're in that space, in that world, and you're able to get in there, game over. I mean, that is massive, massive amounts of dollars. I'm talking about the listeners who actually listen to it. Once it boils down to it, when you start having conversations, and I'm sure you've had them with other housewives and things like that, they're like, oh, yeah, I don't want to hear the screams or see the blood or the crime photos, like the real ones.
Right.
Because like and we're not going to pull them up on this show, but like they are all over the internet, and it'll lead into another story we're going to talk about in a second. But if you look at the OJ thing, for example, all of the crime photos are out. I mean, everywhere across the internet, they are gruesome as shit. I've looked at all of them. I mean, they're crazy.
Yep.
You guys don't want to see any of that?
Nope.
Yeah. So it's just kind of about the mental game, the long game of how these people got killed and thought they could get away with it?
Yeah, it's the act of it. It's what brings them to that point, and then them trying to get away with it, and then how the detectives or the investigation of finding the person that did it.
So you don't want any of the cool things. If the Heaven's Gate shoes were for sale, you wouldn't want a pair of those.
I would want that.
You would want that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In your size? Or you just want to have them on a shelf?
One of them have got to be my size. There was women too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah.
I went down a deep rabbit hole for those shoes, by the way. $2,500 a pair.
Yeah, the Heaven's Gate Nikes and the sneakerheads who collect them is a story on Vice.
Oh, yeah. Pull this up.
But those aren't the actual ones.
This is the article I read, correct. But even the replicas that are out right now?
I would take it. Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just read this story, Bob. That's a great find by you. Man, we're vibing today, Bob.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go today.
Braves are only a game and a half out of first. College football is starting this weekend.
Let's have a fucking day today.
Fucking go.
Let's go. I just read that article a couple of days ago, and then I went deep down a rabbit hole on eBay because that's where they're actually verifying the shoes now, which I love. Shout out to eBay for that. I think that's amazing. I've gotten fake shoes in the past, and I was like, motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're verifying all these, but they are going for about $2,500 a pair. I don't know what happened to the originals. That would actually be a fun documentary for an hour on like an HBO of like, what did they do with all the clothing with all the dead people? Do you give that back? Because typically when somebody dies in your life or family or friends, there is a bag that you pick up. I've had to pick it up at a police station.
If it's not a crime scene or ruled a homicide. So I think if it's a homicide, they have to keep for as long as they want or as long as whatever. They keep everything.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Because we don't know what kind of technology is going to come up in the future where you can actually test things.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. This was just a normal death. So, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I understand that. Speaking of normal deaths, we've been talking about this Kobe Bryant thing for a while with Vanessa Bryant. They got a verdict in last night. And I said she was going to get all the money for this, and they definitely got all the money for this.
Yes.
$35 million they got. And then the other woman, it was a man, her wife and her daughter were killed in the plane as well. He sued as well. So out of that 35, he got 15 million for it. The craziest thing is it went to the verdict, like to the jurors, on Kobe Bryant Day in Los Angeles on A24.
Wow, I mean,
he wasn't losing. Kobe still isn't missing, dude, from up above, dude.
Right,
Kobe
right.
still isn't missing up there. And on the day, what are the chances that trial wrapped up on A24 on his day in Los Angeles? So he got all the money for it, and in my opinion, much deserved. I wouldn't want to see that of my kids out on the internet or the world for anybody else to see.
Yeah.
But it takes somebody with money to do
fight
that.
against that, yeah.
Because that legal team of hers probably cost somewhere in the $2.5 to $3 million range to take this to trial, to go against those DAs out there. And she clearly has it. And I enjoy shit like that. I don't enjoy many lawsuits, but in something like this, good for her, I say.
Yeah.
Good for her. Yeah. Bob, we're paddling now back in Missouri.
That's paddling.
Did you get paddled as a child?
As a child?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I've been paddled at school in Missouri before, but that was more of a
fun,
extracurricular situation.
Sure.
There was one, so in Georgia, man, when I grew up, they were, I think, just ending it at that point. But this district actually is bringing it back. Do you know this district here?
No one knows this district.
Southwest Missouri.
Cassville, Missouri, which its claim to fame is it was the Confederate capital of Missouri for 7 days during the Civil War. It's in Berry County. Here's the map. All right, here's the map. The only things that show up are McDonald's, the Walmart, and the high school.
Do you need anything else in your town?
I guess not.
Nah.
And then let me just zoom out, because I had not heard of this place. I didn't know where the fuck it was. Can already see the Arkansas border. That's a bad sign. Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Arkansas.
Look at this. I mean, it's like 100 miles. It's 100 miles west of Branson or something.
If you can't get away with it there, where can you?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
If
we can't paddle there,
that's the land of the Soggy Bottom Boys,
then
right
where
there.
can you?
No reason for Arkansas to catch strays here.
Wow. Have you been to Arkansas?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Sure.
It's not necessarily that Arkansas is catching strays as so much as it is that area of Missouri.
Right. If you're by the border there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Bob, pull up Drudge Report, because this is what I find hilarious. as far as like a thumbnail, like a picture for this. So just zoom in to the top. You can just zoom in on Drudge Report. It's fine. Just pop that up full screen and then go. It's the picture in the top left-hand corner there. And put that on screen right now. You're good. That's a decent size for it. Okay.
Why?
This is the image that they decided to run with this story. Now, after what Bob just showed us there, that there's a McDonald's and a Walmart in that town, and that is about it. Do you think there's going to be a hot-ass girl, and this is what is actually going to take place? No. It's going to be some toothless troll who's getting trucked with a wooden paddle.
And by the way, is it that age? Like, are we paddling like 20-year-old girls?
She could
or
be
high
younger.
Schoolers?
We don't know.
No, but do you know what I mean? Are we paddling high schoolers, or is it?
If you're going to paddle in the district, it's got to encompass everything.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's got to encompass all of it. So, good for them, I say.
So this is, I think it's just school district wide. And I guess parents were upset because their kids kept getting suspended from school. Now, this is a county of like 14,000 and a town of 3,000. So what do you think the size of that high school is? Like fucking
600
kids per class?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So I don't know how many kids are getting suspended. This is
Yeah.
kind of insane.
Yeah.
But so they wanted option other than suspending. So the
Well, I've got it here. The younger students can receive 1 to 2 paddle swings, while older students can get up to 3. And
But
that's
as an
3 is
option, and it's almost like a fuck you, right? The parents are like, we don't want our kids being suspended. Their fuck you answer is almost like, all right, cool, we can fucking hit them.
no, this is what the parents wanted.
they wanted.
They
They
surveyed
wanted
the-
another option.
No, they
No.
surveyed the parents on the options.
Yes.
And they were like,
They said yes. The parents, this is their exact quote. The parents said they had thanked the district for approving the practice that has mostly been in decline across the country. The parents also said, why can't you paddle my student?
Sure.
And the guy said, we can't paddle your student. Our policy doesn't support that. And the parents were like, we're fine with it. Just go ahead.
As a student, I would
Lay
take
'em
the
out.
paddling.
Yeah.
I would rather take the paddling than like a week suspension or SIS where you just sat in a cubicle.
In school suspension, yes, I'd rather take the paddling. Out of school suspension, no. I had no time. I mean, I had no problem filling up my time when I got out of school suspension.
I mean, smoking cigs and it was just a paddling. Like, say you got caught in the bathroom smoking a heater and they're like, all right, 2 paddles. You're like, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
the problem with that, though, is you need a cigarette after the paddling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure do.
It's a vicious circle.
Can you smoke while you're getting paddled? Because I think that would be a nice option.
And is it like a double jeopardy if you get paddled for it once? Do we keep getting paddled, or then like we paddle you once and you can do whatever you want?
Now, another thing I want to point out. So on Google, when you Google a town or something or a city, photos come up, right? On Google Maps, representative of that area.
Right.
You know, the whatever. If it's like St. Louis, they'll show the Arch or
Yeah.
Busch
Sure.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Sure.
What do we got here?
For this, you know,
haunted
normal
house.
small town stuff, water tower house. Let's get down to the 6th picture. Only 6 pictures in.
Yeah, sure. Nice cloud there.
Oh.
That's
Look
the
at
6th.
that.
And that comes up on just the Google search of the town.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Well,
And that's just a Chevy truck's hat, and it's camouflage. I could barely see it because of
but
the
you know
camouflage.
what? But you know what though? That does paint such a vivid picture for me of the town,
Yeah.
right? Like if I were seeing that, I go, "Oh, okay,
And
I get
here's
it.
a- here's a-
Got it. Got it."
Here's a photo of a parent explaining to his 2 children in Cassville that they're going to get paddled at school this year.
Yeah.
Look at that. Those guys are underneath a
Okay,
nice
guys.
tents, and
You
the
better-
chairs look comfy.
You better get your shit together.
That's actually that is the middle school.
Is it really? It's
Yeah,
just
this
out
tent.
It's just
The tent,
outside.
yeah.
It's just an
That's
outside
the
middle
class.
school. Four kids out there.
That's Coach Carl.
That's your state, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
That's your state.
MIZ, baby.
Yeah,
Wear it
yeah,
with pride.
yeah.
Wear it with pride.
It's all making sense.
Wear your state with pride.
Yep.
Put it on your sleeve.
Yeah, you can say it's close to the border all you want. It's not over the border, is it?
Nope.
Nope.
It's well within
Still in there,
state
yeah.
lines, brother.
Say whatever you want.
You can't escape where you came from.